Hi, this is Natalie Rydstrom from SBR Picks. Bayern Munich hosts Hannover on Saturday in the Bundesliga. Bayern are huge favourites in this match, but what does that mean in regards to the match betting value? Well, joining us now to run through this match from a betting perspective is William Hill's in-play radio host, Lee Phelps. Lee, welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot.
Now, Bayern Munich are on top of the table for good reason. 4 wins, 2 draws, and 3 of those wins at home. They've pocketed the most amount of goals, totaling 11, 8 of those at home, whilst conceding the least, only 2 goals. So it's no surprise Bayern Munich at home are priced 1.16. Even half-time, full-time is still low, and thus priced 1.57. They do, however, come from a midweek Champions League away match playing Moscow, where they won just 1-0 here. So what can we expect from the Bundesliga giants?
I can see a win, obviously. I'm not telling anyone else anything they don't know there, of course. But I think it's important to have a look at what Bayern Munich have been through in the last 7 days or so. They had the game against Köln, stayed over, no one returned home. Then they flew to Moscow. In the early hours of Sunday morning, there was a fire alarm in their hotel. They were all taken out. People may have seen this on Twitter, pictures of Pep Guardiola doing a selfie in his blanket and all the other superstar players in their dressing gowns in the early hours of the morning. The CSKA game was, of course, played behind closed doors. So, you know, it was a very strange atmosphere in Moscow for them. Won the game 1-0, but weren't particularly convincing, in my opinion. So just got the job done. Fair enough. Yeah. They come home. But that's a lot to do in a week, I think. A lot of travelling, of course, and a lot of things happened to them that were out of their control. Football players, even the best football players, like things to be settled. They like things to be as they are. I think they will get the job done over Hannover, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do to them what they normally do. And normally they beat Hannover 4-0, 4-1. I think this is going to be a far lower scoring game than that, Natalie.
Well, one of the main bets here that really stands out to me is the winning 2-0. They've only conceded 2 goals over 6 games, and then you combine that with Hannover, who have yet to find the back of the net on the road. Would you say we're looking at a clean sheet here? And that's priced 1.91.
Yes, I do. I mean, even in the game against Moscow, when they had chances against them, but, you know, Neuer's obviously a fantastic goalkeeper. They've got a strong back line. You know, I think in the Champions League they may have to be a little bit more solid in future. But 2 clean sheets in the Champions League, you know, 1-0 against Manchester City, 1-0 away in Moscow. You can't really complain against that, can you? And as you say, Hannover not scoring on the road, there's no reason to think, other than a fluke, that they would score against Bayern Munich. So I totally agree. I think something like a 1-0 or a 2-0 is the way to go here. I mean, the bet that obviously covers both of those is Bayern to win and under 2.5 goals. And the way they're priced up, obviously the bookmakers think there are going to be lots of goals.
Exactly.
So you get a bit of extra value with the under 2.5.
That's exactly, yeah. Well, to bet Bayern Munich to score over 2.5 goals, it's priced low, 1.62. But after beating Moscow just 1-0, plus Hannover, whilst they need to strengthen their attack, their defence is actually pretty tight. They've conceded 4 goals thus far. So I'm actually leaning towards the under 2.5 goals here, and that's priced 2.38. I'm definitely with you. I can see a 1 or a 2-0, maybe a 2-0. So would that say be a good bet to look at then for this match?
Definitely, I think so, because, I mean, you mentioned Hannover. I was going to come on to them. You're the Hannover manager, and the players, they've had a nice settled week, really, compared to what Bayern have been through. They'll want to go there. They won't be going there thinking they can win the game. They'll be going there trying to get a point. They'll be absolutely delighted to come away with a draw. Whether it's a 0-0 draw or a 1-1 draw, they won't care. So they'll set up solid. They'll set up in, with a strong defence, a guarding midfielder and a strong midfield, and I think they'll try and hit Bayern Munich on the break. Don't think that'll work. Bayern Munich will obviously get through eventually. I mean, the half-time draw full-time Bayern might be something that tempts a few people in. I think Bayern will probably break through before the half-time comes along. So I'm not sure I'd play that, but I think Hannover will frustrate them for quite a while. Maybe the draw at 30 minutes. But for me, I'm just going to keep it really simple. Totally agree with what you said. Under 2.5 goals as a bet. But I think Bayern will win, so Bayern to win and under 2.5 goals as well, just to get a little bit more value.
Yeah, Lee, I'm with you. And so I also like the clean sheet bet there as well, 1.91, the under 2.5 goals and a Bayern Munich win combined. Lee Phelps, thanks for joining us today.
No problem.